So one of the more challenging things that you deal with as a professor is the sort of multiple demands and priorities that you have to juggle. And, it's always this time of year, so it is December, that this all comes painfully clear. It's always the same thing, that in the last 2 weeks of classes, students all of a sudden, they wise up and then they decide to come, talk to you or whatever. This also coincides the time when many of the professors have to get work published and under, conference reviews and things like that. So our major conference is due in January 15th is the date. And so that's to submit something. And, the challenge is sort of balancing it then as well as Christmas and everything else. And I always find it very difficult to sort of balance all these things every single year. It was especially hard. I remember when my kids were really small and balancing those things, particularly trying to get the gifts done and all those kind of things. And there was sometimes, I remember one year I did the Amazon thing and, doing the grading and all of that stuff happened. It took a long time. And by the time I can actually get to doing the gift stuff, some of my wife's gifts didn't come in until after Christmas. And this is just what we're expected to do. And I can understand, this time of the year, I know a lot of people always feel a little burnt out. That, in fact, probably if you talk to almost every single professor, they feel burnt out this time of year. That they're really not getting, appreciated or traction or any of those kind of things that you sort of think about. And this is kind of the life that we deal with. And, people just don't really get those demands that you get. And we have to sort of prioritize those things. I don't think it's clear to the outside world what is going on. I think if you have been a professor before, you're kind of very sympathetic with what's going on because you kind of get it. You've gone through the process, but it's only a small, tiny group that goes through this. It's the same as teachers, right? So our expectation is we have to do the same thing as teachers, except for we have to do research as well. And then we're sort of balancing that combination. Those are the two real big things. Administration is also a part of it. So, I review a lot of articles, for example, which is just basically teaching. And all of these things that come all at once flying at you. And, frankly, I think some people have it right where they just say no this time of year. And they kind of, not check out, but sort of celebrate, and sort of remove themselves from the situation. And I think I have to do that a lot more. This is the challenge that I face with the whole reciprocity project. I don't know what to do. One of the more challenging things with the reciprocity project is, getting the word out and, building that stuff. And so it's one more demand that I have to do. And it's one more thing that it really does not get any credit at all. And it's not recognized in any sort of way. So this is the challenging part of it. Entrepreneurship is not recognized in university. It really is not. And you really have to deal with this, right? How do you manage this part of it, of doing something that's new and different that nobody else has done? And I'm not I know lots of people are doing entrepreneurial things in various different degrees and in different ways, in sort of different parts of their life. But it's just it's challenging, sort of balancing all of these kind of things. I think about the role models in my life that are doing remarkable, interesting things, and they're doing the same stuff and putting stuff together. And you simply have to, check out a little bit, like in a positive way, like remove yourself, and then, appeal to this sort of higher calling of why you do things. And, why do you actually do it, right? Like, I think having that idea in your head of why you actually do something is important. And I always lose it this time of year, because of the sort of chaos of it. But, give it a couple of weeks and it will all die down and all of that kind of stuff. But I just need everybody to be aware, that you're not alone when you're going through any of this stuff. It's kind of the sort of normal schedule, and there's like a life cycle, I guess, that you experience, or a cycle that you experience. It's always this time of year that is absolutely challenging, and then it's done. Like this. That's the crazy thing. I think one of the crazier things is that, we're expected to not remember, how the courses go and sort of restart in the year. Like, that's kind of a stupid assumption. That we should go into it knowing that everything is going to be sort of the same as it was. I mean, like, you've learned stuff. Like, I don't understand why anybody would assume that. And I just want, people to know, just go into the sort of demands that you experience with the high and lows that you have, especially the sort of moments that it's a stressful day. Just be kind on yourself. And, appeal to this sort of higher calling that you have of being kind. And just, repeat that. Get that exercise, do all that kind of stuff. Eat proper. And just get through those days. And then restart. And go again in the next year. Keep taking the demands. One way is to sort of view it. I was like, one way I could say is, keep taking the abuse, or, keep taking the demands. Just keep going with it. And it's not it's not abusive in the sense of, as what people conceive, but it is a very difficult journey. That's where I want to end. Just be kind to yourself and keep going on these days. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.